My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. Definitely check out my latest segments on H.A. Second Amendment. One is with a 1911 45 ACP Springfield Armory 1911. Really beautiful firearm. And the grouping from 20 feet away wasn't bad for me. You know, I'm not an expert by any means, but I do love and enjoy and advocate for the Second Amendment. And so HA Second Amendment, so check that out. As the Springfield Armory 1911, and also my latest upload. So that was yesterday. Today is the 357 Model 686 Smith & Wesson. That was a lot more difficult to shoot. A lot more difficult. It wasn't a long barrel and like 3.5 inch or so, maybe 4 inch. But it was great, and the groupings get better the longer the video goes. So check that out. That is below, and I settle down and I use this part of my finger to pull the trigger. Anyway, instead of this part, which pulls the trajectory of the round. Anyway. Check that out. Hit subscribe to HA Second Amendment. Hit subscribe to this channel. What do we have here? Today's been an interesting day, but I have to let people know of this. When Mueller issues a report, Trump may try to suppress some of it. No. This is Bloomberg. He might try to suppress some of it. He might try to keep information about how he worked with Putin to purchase the Facebook ads of the Buff Bernie glistening body coloring book. Oh my God. He might keep information from the American public and Jerry Nadler. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order. He might keep information from the American public about how he worked with Russian hackers to hack the DNC to let everybody know that Bernie Sanders was cheated by Deborah Wasserman Schultz, thus defrauding $200 million from Bernie voters. All because Putin wanted us to know how evil and corrupt the Democratic Party was, just so that Clinton could win the popular vote, but also lose swing states and lose the election to Trump. If you believe that, you are a conspiracy theorist Democrat. But I'll read you this. When Mueller issues a report, Trump may try to suppress some of it. No. The White House may try to block portions. This is Bloomberg today. The White House may try to block portions of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's final report from being shared with Congress and the public in a fight that could end up before the Supreme Court. Mueller may submit his findings on Russian interference in the 2016 presidential campaign to the Justice Department as early as February. We're waiting, according to one U.S. official. After that, things could get messy. Democrats who now control the House have said they'll demand the department hand over the report. They can demand anything they like. It'll take forever, just like the Republicans. Now, if they actually get what they demand, we have a real big problem in our government. Because the Republicans demanded a whole bunch of things. FISA information, declassified information that was already declassified, information that, Peter Strzok's text messages that were never given to the IG, one of which was never given, the Will Stop Trump text, where the IG doesn't get the Will Stop Trump text, and the IG's like, well, we didn't see any prosecutorial bias. Meanwhile, he was not given the Will Stop Trump text by the Justice Department, by the FBI. Anyway, isn't that interesting? Democrats who now control the House, so they'll demand the department hand over the report, and that they intend to make it public. The White House may counter by asserting executive privilege to prevent key findings from being turned over, according to people familiar with internal deliberations. Under the federal regulations that authorize the special counsels, Mueller is required only to submit his report to department leaders. Wow. There's no mandate that any part of Mueller's finding be provided to Congress or the public. Good. Keep it under wraps. Let Democrats stew in their own maniacal conspiracy theories for let that be the focus Let them go into 2020 with Elizabeth Warren drinking a beer, or Beto O'Rourke skateboarding, or Hillary Clinton committing more crimes. And then they can just say, oh, but the Mueller report was never given to the public. The Mueller report is just that, a report, a book report on nonsense. So many people are indicted. So what? They had nothing to do with Trump, the alleged Russian hacking, which never took place. CrowdStrike was outsourced by Democrats, by Hillary Clinton. And CrowdStrike is the only entity, third-party company entity, to look at DNC servers. There's no evidence. The NSA is still moderately confident. The FBI and CIA are still highly confident. Nobody's certain of anything. Just like Jordan Sather isn't certain that military intel speaks through 8chan message boards, which is absurd. The U.S. government isn't certain that the DNC was even hacked. Now, the NSA's moderately confident assessment should tell you everything you need to know about the conspiracy theory on the left. There are conspiracy theories on the left, and unfortunately, among conservatives as well. There are conspiracy theories everywhere, primarily because media is so in bed with one political party. People desperately want to believe that a letter speaks through 8chan and military intel, Gitmo. That'll never happen. It won't be military tribunals. It's not even a military issue. Clinton didn't even commit it. It's not treason. What they'll get her on is U.S. Code 793F, or the intent to hide for the Clinton Foundation pay-to-play schemes, which is a bribery. Which would be under RICO laws, according to Rudy Giuliani. But if he just decides, you know what, I'm going to keep this this information under wraps, or parts of it, it will be a national obsession on the left. And what takes place is twofold. One, it's a national obsession, which takes away from any discussion of policies. But two, Democratic voters are lemmings. They're generally just like zombie people. They don't really, they're sheeple. They'll vote Democrat no matter what. Republicans actually are not like that. Trump voters are actually not like that. Like, if Trump doesn't get his wall done, Trump voters won't vote for Trump. They'll just, they might vote for someone else. If Trump cheated, if Trump voters learned that he had emails that said that he was cheating somebody, they would never even vote for him ever again. Clinton, different. Clinton cheated Bernie Sanders, Deborah Wasserman Schultz. My new name is Rico Suave Sanders. If it worked for Beto, it'll work for me. They cheated Bernie Sanders. And they still voted for Bernie says, like, oh yeah, go vote for the people who cheated me. We're gonna fight the 1% by voting for the same 1% who cheated me. That's their mentality. You think they're talking about Medicare for all? I mean, like, at a certain point, people need to ask themselves on the left, what are they doing? You're not going to get Medicare for all or a green economy or anything like that. Even if you tax the top marginal tax rate is 70%, still not enough to fund any of the programs that they want. The major programs, the green economy. And how are you going to push a green economy with Beto O'Rourke getting more money from oil and gas than any other person in Congress aside from Ted Cruz? He's number 2. He's ranked number 2 on the list of people who get money from oil and gas companies. But here you go, executive privilege. What is it that they utilized the Steele dossier that was purchased by Hillary Clinton to start the investigation? They had a phantom, fake, phony discussion that took place between Alexander Dumbo Downer, an Australian diplomat, and George Papadopoulos. No crime was committed. So they utilized that discussion to entrap Papadopoulos and to then foster an investigation and then to spy on Americans and then to set up Michael Flynn. What was gained? Trump did not collude with Russia in any way, shape, or form. Hillary Clinton The Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin at his home in Moscow in 2010. Here, we can look at this up. Newsweek. Clinton, Putin, meeting, uranium. Bill Clinton met Putin. Bill Clinton met Putin after asking to meet top nuclear industry officials. Emails show. How on earth? And William Barr will eventually, hopefully, get to the bottom of this. I'm very hopeful. I'm not saying trust anyone. I'm very hopeful. When planning a trip to Moscow for a speaking engagement in June 2010, former President Bill Clinton, this is Newsweek, reportedly tried to meet with an official who was part of the Russian state-run company seeking approval to purchase a uranium company with holdings in the United States. So instead, Clinton ended up meeting Vladimir Putin at his home. At his home. So it's like, it's never ending. You have actual criminal activity, and it's not just the fact that money went into the Clinton Foundation and then beneficial treatment to the donors take place. It's not just that. The issue is a litany of pay-to-play schemes. A litany. And you have money flowing in to the Clinton Foundation. You have money flowing in, but you also have Bill Clinton meeting Vladimir Putin after he tried to meet with the Rosatom officials. So it's like it all comes together. But see, ladies and gentlemen, you can't rely on the media to even... A month prior to the trip, Clinton, whose wife Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State at the time, asked the State Department if it had any concerns about a list of 15 people he intended to meet in Russia. But no concerns with Vladimir Putin. Isn't that interesting? So, sells uranium to Putin. Bill Clinton meets with Putin. Bill Clinton has a speaking engagement. He wants to meet with the Rosatom CEO. Board of directors. Among them was, an aide to Russia's president at the time, and a board director of Rosatom, the state-run atomic energy company that was vying for a majority stake in Canadian company Uranium One. The company had mines in the United States, and if the deal went through, Russia would gain control 20% of U.S. uranium. So, there you go. There you go. Hashtag thanks Obama. Thanks Clinton. And there you go. I mean, it's never ending. So tell me more about Russia collusion. Tell me more about the Mueller report. Tell me more about... Sorry about that. Tell me more about Russia collusion, the Mueller report. All of these things. Tell me more. Tell me more. The issue here is that you have a Democratic Party that has utilized Mueller as an extension of itself. The Mueller report is just an end to a completely dysfunctional political system that allows Democrats to get away with everything, allows Democrats to utilize the government to promote their own myths. And that's the problem. The Mueller report promotes... Mueller report has promoted its own myths Democratic Party myths. Trump colluded with Russia. He was never really a legitimate president. He didn't win. We cheated Bernie Sanders, but that was a Russian plot to let you know about that. We didn't really cheat. Well, we cheated him, but who cares? That's just politics. But you know what? Russia really, really, really tried to influence the election because they were really scared and they hated Clinton. That's what the Steele dossier says. And oh my God, and all these things and all these connections. Well, what about the money that flowed into the Clinton Foundation and then the uranium sale? You can't, there's not a shred of evidence. Well, what about William D. Campbell, the FBI informant who said that Russian lobbyists were bragging about their influence over the Clinton Foundation and Obama's administration? He has no evidence. It's just his word. He was an FBI informant. The Steele dossier was purchased by a former MI6 agent that was paid by Hillary Clinton. Yeah, there's a lot of things that took place that happened there. Let name one. Well, we're still looking. They're completely out of their minds. They're completely out of their minds. The NSA is moderately confident still. The DHS and ODNI reports have no evidence to back them up. And all they've done, ladies and gentlemen, is continually foment the same kind of ridiculous, nonsensical narratives. Trump worked with Russia, he's not legitimate, and even Bernie Sanders pushed the Russia myth. So the Mueller report, the Democrats can take the Mueller report and shove it up where the sun don't shine. It is complete and utter conspiracy theory and nonsense. And just to troll them, Trump should redact everything. Hit subscribe right now. Check out HA's Second Amendment, my latest uploads, 357, 45 ACP. Thank you.